Ooh, this is really giving me bad flashbacks to 2020 when this is what I spent all day doing. But again, I hope that you like this way of sort of making up for Wednesday's class that I have to miss, and then giving you just Friday off. So let's wrap it up, shall we? Okay. So in addition to triggers as one example, that we have anonymous blocks in PL/SQL. We have triggers, which are basically functions that are run in response to something happening in the database, and you have one of those assigned for the term project. So make sure you read that. That's assigned for phase 3, which is the next phase coming up. And then lastly, we have stored procedures. Again, you're all veteran programmers. You basically know what the benefits of procedures are. What we can do is write blocks of SQL code together with the procedural language aspect, store them on the server, run them on the server, so that when we're talking back and forth to the server, we don't have to send so much code. We just send a particular command. Those commands might be, whoops, made that a little bit smaller there accidentally. Okay, those commands might actually be, common business transactions. And in so doing, what we are able to do is reduce traffic on the network, increase our efficiency of execution, and of course, we all know one of the benefits of writing any kind of procedure is not having to duplicate code over and over again. So let's look at a couple of examples, and then we'll wrap this up. So again, straight out of the book, this one. Okay, what we're doing is, here's the syntax: create or replace a procedure. In this case, we're calling it procedure product discount. So this is basically to decide that we want to discount all the inventory that's been languishing in our warehouse and nobody's wanted to buy it. Okay, so here's how it's going to be defined. We're going to run the SQL query: update product, set discount equal to discount plus 5%. Okay, wherever the quantity on hand is more than 2 times the minimum. So in other words, if we just have a ton of product in the warehouse, we want to go ahead and increase the discount by 5%. Okay, and then again, this is a procedure, so we can put a little output statement in there. Okay, again, straight out of the book, here's an example. This is what the product table looks like initially. Then we basically run the stored procedure with the exec command. Okay, so we're going to execute the product discount procedure, and you'll see what happens over here is, for the Power Painter, for instance, we have far more than 2 times the minimum quantity on hand, so that discount has been increased to 5%. Same thing with the 7¼ inch power saw blade. We have more than 2 times the minimum quantity on hand, so the discount's going to go up to 10%, and so on. You can sort of follow your way through that. Very much like we did in lab today, we realized that it's not always a good idea to hard code something into your code, so we want to parameterize it. In this case, we have basically an input parameter. That's the type number. It's called WPI. Okay, and then basically this code is pretty much the same. We're going to error check first, make sure that the input parameter is between 0 and 1. It has to be a percentage, in other words, okay, with an error message if it's not. Then otherwise, look, it's the same code as on the previous slide, except instead of adding 5%, we're going to add whatever the user input, and then we see the results. Again, we could do an example of this and see basically the exact same results. So very cool stuff. I don't have a stored procedure required for the term project, but if you can think of a way to use one, that's extra credit for sure. Okay, and then lastly, let's wrap up with this topic. Okay, we're talking now about embedded SQL. That's the last topic in Chapter 8 that I want you to be familiar with, and of course you're very familiar with it because we've done multiple hours of lab now on embedding SQL in PHP code, embedding SQL in Java code, embedding SQL in Python code, right? Again, and you'll have some more experience with that as you can work on your term project. I said next lab topic here, but my labs are a little bit ahead of where the lecture material is right now. So one other reason why I wanted to give you some video lectures for Wednesday. So that is it. I would like for you to enjoy this yet another break that you're getting after spring break. But of course, you do have some things to be working on. So work on phase 3 of the term project. Work on finishing Lab 7, which we just did this afternoon, in case you're not finished. And then, of course, you'll want to be studying for the mini exam on Monday, which is going to be about 60% as long as the previous exam, and we'll do it in lab on a Monday afternoon. So send me your emails if you have questions about any of this material or studying for the exam or anything like that. And of course, go see Kayla to vote for the the most evil Disney villain. Take care, everybody. I will see you when I get back on Monday.